My name is Rebecca, and I am 16 years old. I live with my stepmom and my stepsister Tessa. My stepmom hates me, and I don't know the reason. She makes me do all the house chores, and yet Tessa does nothing. She says that I am older than my stepsister, yet it is only by a month. My mom passed away when I was born, due to excessive bleeding. I didn't get a chance to see her, and the only memory I have of her is the picture I saw. I lived with my father until I was the age of 5. There was this lady who moved to our neighborhood, and my dad fell in love with her. I was happy for my dad because everyone deserves to be with someone to support and love them. My dad married her after a year of dating, and that is how Ashley became my stepmom. After the honeymoon was when my dad told me that Ashley had a daughter who was 5 years old. I was happy because I thought that I had found someone with whom we could play together. I had always wanted a sister or a brother to hang out with. However, when Tessa came, she didn't want to play with me. She didn't want anything to do with me, and she said that I was just as ugly as my mom. I was angry about what she told me, but hearing her talking about my mom like that made me lose my self-control. I found myself slapping her. I then stormed to my room. My dad came and told me to apologize to Tessa for slapping her. I went and asked for forgiveness. Of course, she didn't forgive me. I thought that my dad was favoring Tessa, but I realized that he didn't want any conflict. That day in the evening, he took me to the park. Tessa and Ashley had gone shopping. He told me that what Tessa did was wrong and that I was the most beautiful person in the world. He told me all I had to do is give Tessa some space. We had a great time in the park, and he told me a lot about my mom. It was the first time he had talked about her in a long time. He used to avoid the topic whenever I tried bringing anything to do with my mom. I knew it was a sensitive topic for him. My grandmother was the one who told me about my mom. She told me that she was my dad's first love. It must have been painful for my dad to see his wife die when giving birth. Because I looked so much like my mom, I must have reminded him so much about her. But after he married Ashley, he was better because he started talking about my mom. I knew that Ashley made my dad happy, and I was happy for him. This was why no matter how Ashley treated me badly, I never told my dad. I didn't want any conflict between them, and to put my dad in a difficult situation to choose between us. I knew that if he ever had to choose, he would choose me as I was always his priority. I pretended I was happy for the sake of my dad. 4 years ago, my dad was involved in a car accident and he died on the spot. It was the most painful moment of my life because he was my only family left. My life changed from that day. Ashley no longer had to pretend to like me. She transferred me to a public school, claiming that what my dad left wasn't enough. She fired our house help, and I had to do all the house chores before going to school. My stepmom moved me from my room and told me to sleep in our store. I had no other choice, and so I did. There was nowhere I could go because she was my guardian till I was 18 years old. I used to cry when I was in my room asking my parents why they had to leave me in this cruel house. I slept hungry most of the time when I didn't finish the task she had given me. One day, when I was sleeping, I saw a person dressed in white. I was shocked and I woke up ready to run. She told me that she wasn't there to harm me, but rather to help me. She took me to a certain place and told me to ask anything. I was hungry and found myself asking for pizza. Suddenly, there was a pizza in front of me. I was perplexed, and she told me that any time I want anything, I should come to that place. There were, however, some rules. I wasn't supposed to tell anybody about it, nor give any of that stuff to anybody. I was very happy, and I thanked her. Suddenly, she disappeared from my sight. She must have been the guardian angel that my parents had sent. I stood there, wondering how I was going to arrive home. I then said that I wish I was home. Suddenly, I found myself at home. I tried going back to where my guardian angel took me, and I found myself there. This meant that any time I wish I was there, I would find myself there. I woke up early the following day as usual. I did the house chores, and I went to my secret place. I said, I wish that I had an iPhone. And suddenly, an iPhone appeared. I said, I wish I had a laptop. And suddenly, there was a laptop. I said, I wished I had nice clothes. And suddenly, my clothes became brand new and the latest fashion. I had to go back home and hide everything so that my stepmom would not see. I didn't know what I would tell her if she ever finds out about the nice things I have. I only use my phone and laptop in my room. I am lucky to have that place, and I will always be grateful to my guardian angel.